Hey guys, it's Marshall Mathers IV here, back to you today with another video. And in today's video, this will be part 3 video to my message to Black Americans. And I want to start this video off, which will be my last and final video having to do with what I personally want to say to Black Americans in this country of America. And I want to start out this video by saying that, you know, I just want to tell you blacks who love to complain and whine and just lose your shit and go ballistics over the fact that, oh, you have been oppressed for over 400 years and you've been discriminated against and you're victims of 400 years of effect because of slavery, when in the continent of Africa there is still fucking slavery going on there. I mean, let me just tell you guys the honest to God truth, which clearly and obviously you are so unaware of and just flat out oblivious to, because of course the mainstream media, which is super fucking biased like a motherfucker, that so many of you little fuckers love to believe and just listen to like a bunch of fools that you are, there is still, to this very day, slavery going on in Africa. And as a matter of fact, slavery has been a thing that has pretty much happened to all races of people, not just black people. It's happened to pretty much every single fucking race of people that you can possibly imagine or think of from all over the world. Slavery had been a thing that happened throughout so many generations. It happened throughout history. I mean, as a matter of fact, let me just tell you something, black people in America. Irish people were slaves. And what race were Irish? Oh yeah, that's right. They were white. And you know, one of the parts in my DNA is Irish. I have Irish blood in my DNA. And I only know this because my dad did the whole ancestry or whatever thing, and he got his DNA tested. And he found out that, like, when it comes to his children, that they have Irish blood, German blood, Jewish blood, and Polish blood in our DNA. But you don't see me running around demanding and expecting fucking reparations, even though I know very well that I'm pretty sure one of my ancestors, if not more, were probably a slave to someone. I mean, it's just so ridiculous and pathetic that you, black people in America, act as if you were the only slaves. And of course, and obviously, modern day black people are not slaves. They are not physically slaves. But they love to run around and complain and whine and moan about how, oh, 400 years of effective slavery, and they act like emotional and mental slaves. Like, they're emotionally and mentally enslaved, which is true, and that's your choice. I mean, even Kanye fucking West said it best himself, that if you still feel like a slave after 400 years, that is a choice. That is the decision. And I have nothing but respect for Kanye West for having the balls, having the courage, and having the motivation and self-esteem to get up there all proudly and say the truth like it is, and just to speak nothing but facts about the matter, that if you still feel like a slave after 400 years, that's your damn choice, okay? That is your decision. That is nobody else's fault but your own, okay? But everybody just loves to pander to black Americans. But when it comes to white Americans, we get judged. we get ridiculed. We get demonized. We get put down. We get just lashed out against. Like, I had it just as bad as black people in America, if not even worse. And I do think, in a lot of ways, I had it far worse than any of you. Much worse. I mean, honest to God, you modern-day black Americans have literally been living like kings and queens compared to your ancestors from 100+ years ago, who actually physically, emotionally, and mentally suffered. You know the only reason why you black Americans feel as though you're still emotionally and mentally enslaved after all these years? I'll tell you. It's because you're enslaved to the Democrat Party. You're enslaved to the Democrat vote. And sadly, none of you seem to realize it. You are so blind and arrogant to the truth. And the truth is that black Americans, for so many years, hundreds of years, have been enslaved to, well, maybe not hundreds of years, but still a long-ass time, they have been enslaved to the Democrat Party, the Democrat vote. And yet none of you want to walk away, although there are some of you who do. And if you don't think there's any of you who do walk away from the Democrat Party and vote, look at my man Officer Tatum. Look at Anthony Brian Logan. Look at Candace Owens. Look at the Hodge twins. Look at Jesse Lee Peterson. Look at Bevelyn Beatty. Those kinds of black people I love the fuck out of. I literally love the shit out of. I have nothing but all the respect in the world for those certain specific kinds and types of black Americans. People like them, I hold them up. I put people like that up on a pedestal, if I'm going to be completely honest here. And when it comes to liberal black people, you guys are pathetic as hell. I mean, seriously, you guys are so fucking dumb. Literally, like, no lie, no shit. You guys are so fucking full of yourselves. So full of yourselves. There's just nothing but a bunch of racist narcissists. And you know, here's the thing. You black people want to say I'm racist. Okay, that's fair. Okay. And yet, you guys don't even look in the mirror yourselves. You don't take a fucking look at yourselves. You don't look at your face in the mirror for a change and see that, oh my God, I'm racist against my own people. Because you definitely are. Because guess what you black liberals do time and time again? Anytime there is a black American man or woman who becomes a fully devoted, full-on, full-pledged Republican conservative, you know what you call those black American people? You call them house N-words. You call them monkeys. You call them sellouts. You call them race traitors. You call them bootlickers. I mean, and that's coming from black liberals. Black liberals are so fucking racist to their own race. And think about how black Americans are constantly nonstop killing each other in the streets. I mean, look at Chicago, for crying out loud, if you don't believe me. Look at the amount of deaths that happen every month, every year. And tell me that black people don't hate the fuck out of each other. As if they literally don't hate each other to death. Because they definitely do. You guys are such hypocrites. You are such hypocrites. You want to say that I'm racist because I say the N-word, either N-I-G-G-A or N-I-G-G-E-R? But I've never, ever said it to a black person's face. I never experienced black people growing up. So it's not like I would have gotten the chance or opportunity anyways, even if I am a racist. Like you all want to say that I am. And can I just say something? The definition of somebody who's racist is somebody who hates another race because of their skin color. And I have never hated a black person because of their skin color. I could care less about their skin color, even though black Americans love to brag and boast about their, oh, so precious, wonderful melanin. And they just love to go on and on and on about how they're so superior and righteous and holy and pure and innocent and just so saint-like because of their melanin and because they're black. And they love to brag and boast about how, oh, they don't get sunburn or they don't get skin cancer or other skin diseases because they have their melanin, and even their black skin in general just works as a shield to prevent any of that shit. Like, even though you black Americans love to just brag and boast and go on and on and on non-stop about your melanin and your skin color, trying to make other races of people feel like shit because we don't have melanin, whether white people or Asian people or Jewish people or whatever, you want us to feel like shit because we don't. You want to make anyone of any race who doesn't have melanin in their skin at all to feel like shit. And yet you want to call me a racist. Let me just say something. I do not hate any of you black Americans, even the ones that I'm annoyed with, irritated with, and fed the fuck up with, and I've had it up to here with. I've had as much as I can take and handle of you people. But even then, I don't hate you because of your skin color. That would be so pathetic and shallow. And as a matter of fact, I would never hate anyone because of their race or skin color. That's stupid. That is stupid. Okay? No, I don't hate any of you because of your skin color. Also, the definition of being racist is somebody who's prejudiced against another race. And also, how can I be racist against blacks when I hate white people pretty much on the same exact level as I do blacks? Like literally equal to each other. Well, at least when it comes to white people who have been raised in cities and who had the chance and opportunity and privilege to become a wigger because they were surrounded by so many black people that they even lived in neighborhoods with or went to school with or worked at jobs with, and that they were friends with a lot of them, and so they're highly likely bound to become a wigger. Like, I fucking hate those white people. So how the fuck can I be racist if I even hate people of my own race, my own kind? Am I racist against them too? Like, no. I just feel that I simply hate black Americans. And it has nothing to do with their race. It has nothing to do with your guys' race or skin color. I mean, honestly, I am telling you the truth. I hate you guys because of what more you have had than me, materialistically, and the fact that you got to be both born and raised in cities with the most job opportunities, with so much shit ton of diversity, and having the convenience of everything so close together. That is why I hate the majority of you. Because the fact that you're raised in cities, you get to experience the city life and diversity since you're little kids, and when you grow up into becoming your teens, you have so many different varieties of jobs to choose from, because there's just a never-ending amount of jobs in cities. That is why I hate you. And that is way more than I can say about my life. I mean, I'm like, I can't feel bad and sorry for people raised in cities. Whether you're black, white, Asian, Mexican, Muslim, Indian, Native American, whatever your race is, I cannot feel bad or sorry for people who have been raised in cities. I can't. I literally cannot feel bad and sorry for you people. Because I will never be able to get over the fact that you guys have been more spoiled and privileged, lucky, blessed, and fortunate than compared to me because of, one, the fact that you were raised in a city, which is way more than I can say about myself and my life and my upbringing, and the fact that you got to experience diversity, the city life, and get to look forward to having some nice-ass job when you get older and start coming into your teens and early 20s. That is way more than I could ever say about my life. That is why I hate black people in this country. I don't hate black people because I'm racist, or because I hate their skin color, or because I hate their race, or because I hate their culture. I will say that I hate most black Americans too because they're politically confused. They're politically brainwashed and manipulated. They're fooled and deceived by the mainstream media, knowing that the majority of them are Democrats. And guess what? 90%, and even more so, like 95% of black people in this country are registered as Democrats. 90 to 95%. So that only leaves a 5 small percent who are good, who are cool, who are the dope ones, who are the actually awesome ones that I would definitely see myself becoming friends with, getting along just fine with, and just getting in really good with. And, you know, it just pisses me off that so many of you black Americans in this country act as if you have been the only ones who have been oppressed, discriminated against, and victims. And it pisses me the fuck off that any of you act as if you were the only ones who had ancestors who were slaves. And you know why you do? It's because the mainstream media makes it look and seem as if black people were the only slaves throughout the history of the world. Well, I have news for you. White people were slaves. Mexican people were slaves. Native American people were slaves. Muslim people were slaves. Indian people were slaves. You're not the only race of people who were ever enslaved throughout the history of the world. But you want to just act and come off like that. But you don't see other races of people demanding and expecting reparations. So give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. And like I said, I have Irish in my DNA, and the Irish people were slaves. So I am sure as hell that one of my ancestors was probably a slave to someone of another race, or maybe the same race even. And you don't see me running around, rioting, burning down cities and looting. Not like I ever had the chance or opportunity to do that anyway, because I never lived in a city. But you still don't see me demanding and expecting reparations. And maybe I should. I mean, if black Americans are going to do it, why shouldn't I? Seriously. And why should it stop there? Why shouldn't Mexican people demand and expect reparations? Why shouldn't Muslims? Why shouldn't Jewish people? Why shouldn't Indian people? Why shouldn't Native American people? I mean, they already do get reparations. They get $4,000 a month. But you get my point. You get my drift. Why shouldn't everybody who has been oppressed, who has been discriminated against, who has been victims of something, demand and expect reparations? See how ridiculous that would be? And yet you black Americans just don't see it. You don't see how foolish and just stupid and dumb and retarded and idiotic and moronic that you all are being. And I don't mean like all of you. I'm just saying the ones of you who are. Because I know that not all black Americans are like that. And for the ones who aren't, I love you. I really care about you and respect you. Seriously. I would want to be your friends. I would want to get in really good and tight with you guys. Any black people who are fully devoted, full-on, full-pledged Republican conservatives, you're the black people I love. You're the black people that I could see myself definitely being friends with, and even sometimes having uncomfortable discussions with about race or culture or whatever. And you are the black people who I have just mad love for, respect, and care for. Black liberals, you need to get your shit together. You need to wake up. You've been living a lie for so long. And you don't even see it. You don't even realize it. And I also want to say another thing in this video. You know, when it comes to, like, George Floyd, let me just say something about him. George Floyd, even as tragic as that incident was, and I am not denying that, I'm sad that George Floyd died. I truly am. From the bottom of my cold, black, stone cold heart. I feel bad and sorry for him or his loved ones and family. But let me just say something. He did not die from being kneed on his neck. Not that that wasn't messed up. And if I were a cop, I would have never done some shit like that. But let me just say, he didn't die from that. Because even the people he was in the car with, being black people, said he couldn't even breathe when he was in the car. He was saying even before he was getting arrested in the car with the other people he was with that I can't breathe. I can't breathe. You know why he couldn't breathe? It's because he was overdosing. He was slowly, painfully dying. He didn't die because of being kneed on the neck. He died because he had a drug overdose. But the mainstream media just love to twist and distort things and just act as if, oh, it's because this racist white police officer put his knee on his neck. And also, let me say something else. It pisses me the fuck off whenever the mainstream media makes every single black man or woman who gets wrongfully shot by a police officer out to be a fucking saint, out to be a martyr, out to be such an innocent little angel, when they were not. Like George Floyd, you know what he did? He put a gun to a pregnant woman, okay? I don't know when in his life he did that. All I know is that I heard that story. I heard even other black people talking about how he put a gun to a pregnant woman. Oh yeah, he was such a saint. Yeah, sure. Give me a break. Except the media just always makes every single damn black person out to be a fucking saint, a martyr, and that's so disrespectful to people who are actually saints and actually martyrs and actually holy, righteous, pure, innocent people who actually suffered in life, who actually went through hell emotionally, mentally, and physically, unlike the modern day black American people. And I want to talk about someone else, Breonna Taylor. You know the reason she was shot? It's not because she was shot by racist police officers. She was accidentally and unfortunately caught in the crossfire because she had a boyfriend who, of course and obviously, not to my surprise, was a thug, street, hoodlum, gangster, ratchet, bougie kind of guy. He was a black man. Obviously a street dude, and the police had a warrant for his arrest. And they went trying to find him, they went trying to look for him, and he opened fire on them. He had a gun, and he opened fire on them. And if he would have been cool, if he would have been dope and awesome, he would have done the manly thing. That would have made me actually respect him, even as a street dude. If he would have just turned himself in and done the manly thing and done the heroic thing and just would have given up. But no, he had to take the cowardly way out by trying to fight the police officers. So obviously, do you think they're just gonna, oh yeah, I'm just gonna let this thug criminal just shoot us all Yeah, because we feel so bad for him because he's so oppressed and discriminated against, and he's a victim of 400 years of effect of slavery. No, they're going to retaliate. They're going to shoot back. And sadly, Breonna Taylor was caught in the crossfire, okay? It's not because she was shot purposely by a bunch of racist cops. That's the lie and narrative that the mainstream media, liberal rappers, and liberal politicians, and liberal news anchors, even the white ones, just love to push and promote like there is no tomorrow. She didn't die because she was shot by racist police officers. She was shot because she was caught in the crossfire of bullets. And you know whose fault that was? That was her stupid bitch-ass thug boyfriend's fault. Because he didn't just do the manly thing and hand himself in, give himself up, and do the manly thing and respectable thing. Because guess what? If he would have done that, she would have still been alive. And I wish she was. Because she had all the right to live and be alive. She didn't do anything wrong. And it just makes me sick to my stomach that people always point the finger and always blame, bash, ridicule, judge, and just demonize an entire group of cops just because some bullshit liberal narrative pushed by the mainstream media. And guess what? It was her boyfriend's fault. I wish black people would start taking some accountability and start looking at their own people. Even the rapper Lil Wayne, who's a liberal, at least defends cops. Even though he's done some questionable things, I love him. I love him to death. I love Lil Wayne. At least he defends cops, and at least he voted for President Trump, and at least he thinks the Black Lives Matter movement is bullshit. In his own words, he said, I don't feel connected to a damn thing that ain't got nothing to do with me. And I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I don't either. I don't feel connected to a damn thing that ain't got nothing to do with me either. I love Lil Wayne for having the balls, courage, and guts to say it how it is. Just like Kanye West is. I love Kanye West, and I sure as hell love Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is my man. I may not have ever met him. I hope I get the chance to someday. But I may never, and even if I don't, Lil Wayne, I love you, man. I love you. I care about you and respect you. Because at least you know some shit. Defending police, that's dope. Voting for Trump, that's dope. And fucking demonizing and ridiculing and bashing and judging the BLM movement, that is dope. I love you, man, and keep it up. Don't give up the good fight, Lil Wayne. Don't give up. And, you know, also in Lil Wayne's own words, he even said to the rapper Fat Joe, who's a non-black rapper, he said, you know, when I see things like this, and these aren't my words, these were his, from his mouth, from the mouth of Lil Wayne, a black man, okay, a black American man, he said, you know, when I see things like this, I think we should look at ourselves. He was talking about black Americans looking at themselves, looking in the mirror and thinking, maybe this shit is our fault. Maybe we should take some accountability. Just maybe we should. And he said that he thinks it's ridiculous how every single time something like this happens, the majority of black Americans lose their shit. And just flip out and go ballistics. And also, they always point their finger and blame an entire force of people, meaning, of course, and obviously, the police force. And let me just tell you something, guys. Black people aren't the only ones who face police brutality. Mexican Americans do. White Americans do. Muslim Americans do. Native Americans do. Indian Americans do. It's not just black people, and also Asian Americans do. Black American people are not the only ones who face police brutality, who don't just suffer from that. They're not the only ones, or the only race or group of people who do. But that's another thing the mainstream media wants so many people to believe, that, oh, black people are the only race and culture of people that faces police brutality. That's a load of bullshit, because it is not true. White people face it, Mexican people face it, Asian people, Jewish people, Muslim people, Indian people, Native American people. It's not just you black people. I love that you just want to seem like you're the most oppressed, deprived, and underprivileged. You're the most discriminated against, and you're the biggest victims in the fucking world. But guess what? You're dead wrong. Because you're not the only ones. I hate to break it to you, but you're not. You're not, so stop trying to act as if you are. Give me a fucking break. I don't even know what to think about you black Americans anymore. The ones of you who are like that, of course. I don't even know what to think about you guys anymore. I really don't. I really don't. You guys just make no sense to me at all whatsoever. You really don't. You have me scratching my head here. You have me so confused. But that's all I pretty much wanted to say in today's video. So let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. I'm out.